Hello guys and welcome back to another video. So for this video, this is going to be my second tutorial on how to make a FNAF fan game in Scratch. Now if you haven't watched the first tutorial, I would definitely urge you to watch that first, because you might be confused with all these things here, all this we went over in the first episode and whatnot. You'd probably be confused about that. So go ahead and watch that first. It's more down on my channel, but you will see it. But without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So what are we learning today? Well, we're going to learn how to make a continue button, the office, and the doors. Now this is going to be a more interesting video than last time, because now we're actually going to get started on the actual gameplay itself, and that's going to be quite interesting. So first things first, before we get to the office, we're going to start with a continue button here. So just like our new game button, this button is going to allow us to start a night, but the difference between the new game and continue button is that when you press down on the continue button, it's going to start you off on the next night. So after you complete a night and then you're brought back to the menu, you can click on this and then it'll bring you to the next night. Not only that, but it will also let you pick up where you left off. So for the code here, of course we have our friendly when flag clicked hide, and then now you're going to grab the script right here, and this is gonna help us as well. So just grab that when I receive green flag, and then have it go to the position you want it to. This one doesn't seem all that good because that looks like the same position as our new game. Yeah, I was right. So let's change that position so that doesn't happen. Alright, that looks better now. So now they're split apart here, and with the last video too, what we learned was we made an animation for our button. So this shouldn't be too hard actually. All I gotta do is go to the new game and then have this script right here and then drag it into the continue button script. There we go. Now instead of having it broadcast new game, we're going to have it broadcast a message called night screen, and then we're going to put it right under here in this script. So now this should work, and our continue button should be animated just like our new game button. Well, would you look at that? They're both animated now. Now of course this seems kind of off too, so we'll try and fix that as well. We could do negative 70. Would that work? Yeah, that's more like it. And what I noticed too actually is that the new game button waited a while before it actually had the continue button. That is because I made an error from last episode. You don't actually have to put this wait 2 seconds right here. That's my fault, and I'm sorry about that. We can forget about that, because by the time both of these buttons show up when the game starts, it'll actually be like a perfect timing. So now we got all this. So now that we have this script right here all set up and whatnot, let's try and press continue and see what happens. Well, nothing happens actually. And that's because nothing here is actually linked to the night screen broadcast, only to the new game broadcast. So we can try and fix that. So what you're going to want to do is come to the fade sprite right here and duplicate this script. Now change the message from new game to night screen. Once you're done with that, you're going to come to this script and you're going to duplicate that as well. And just like what we did here, we're going to change this broadcast to night screen. Now this should work, but this is only a guess, but we won't really know for sure unless we try it. Okay, that did its job right there. Awesome, right? That looked really good. But now as you see right there, our new game button didn't hide, and neither did Maxwell, so we're going to fix that as well before we get into the office. So for a new game, it already has a script to hide and whatnot to make sure that it doesn't appear in gameplay. Well, we're going to duplicate this, and just like before, yes again, we are going to change this broadcast to a night screen. Perfect. And now we're going to take this script and drag it to Maxwell. Of course, you'll have your own character as well. You're not going to necessarily have Maxwell, but you are supposed to drag this script into your character sprite that shows up on the main screen. Now, this should also happen for new game as well as continue, but we only have it for continue. So let's duplicate this script, and then now we're going to go backwards. We're going to change this to a new game. Great job. Now that we have all these, I'm pretty sure that both new game and continue should work the way that they should. one last thing here too. We should also make sure that when we click new game, that continue also will hide as well. So just go to the new game script, or new game sprite, I mean, and then drag this new game script into the continue button and let go. Then of course bring it right here, and also make sure that you duplicate this and then change this to night screen. Now let's test this out for both of these. First we'll test the new game to see if the rest of the buttons as well as Maxwell hides. If we do that, then we're good. Awesome, now that we tested it, both the buttons and Maxwell are gone. But you see, Maxwell kind of appeared or disappeared a little too early from that. So what we could do actually is get a wait seconds block right here, and then set it to 0.7. And then we'll duplicate that, and then set it right here and right here. Let's just clean up those blocks. Good. And if you want to, you also could do the same thing for your buttons as well. But this is just to make it so that the animation is a little smoother and that Maxwell doesn't just disappear too early or whatnot. So let's try that. And then lastly right here for the continue button, 0.7 for all these. Alright, now that we have all those 0.7s in place, let's try and see if this animation will run a little bit smoother. A quick disclaimer as well, make sure that you remove the set size to 1% so that your character will not grow small, and then it'll take you a while to set them back to their normal size. So have them look like this without any size script, because you don't want your character to be messed up by size. Now we can finally test the buttons. Look at that now, that actually worked really well. As you saw, that Maxwell waits to hide now, so it's not going to look as weird. Now he'll wait to fade along with the other buttons, and that looks pretty good right there. So now we have our new game and continue button right here. One last thing for the continue button, make sure that when you press it, that it will let you start off where you left off, and it'll also change your night when the time is right. So we're going to get rid of this, and then go to the variables tab, grab night number, and then change it by 1. And now we're going to bring in a new broadcast. And this broadcast is going to be called Night Finished. Now that you see in this script, there is no setting night number to 1, and this will allow you to pick up where you left off. And then when the night is actually done, that's when it'll change the night number to 2, or to 3, or 4, whichever one you left off on. Now for the interesting part that most of you have been waiting for, the office. Now when it comes to designing an office, you want to make sure that you can choose an interesting design, and one that will retain to your game as well as your characters as well. But of course, if you just want it simple and whatnot, then you can follow these instructions right here. This is just to kind of make a simple, like FNAF 1 inspired office. So we're going to start first with the center wall, then 2 walls on the other side. And this will also help you when it comes to making the office look 3D as well. Let's start out with the big rectangle first. And you know what? Let's probably shrink its size a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to start with another rectangle, but this one is going to look a little different because it's going to be stretched differently as well. And now you can kind of see here that we have our own little 3D shape going on here with this corner and whatnot. It's actually looking pretty cool. Now to kind of make this easier on us, we can also duplicate it as well. So just hit the copy button on this right here, paste it, and then you can use the flip feature to create something like this. And we're going to put it right there. I'll try and match it up as best as I can. Look at that now, our office has a pretty cool shape. Now it's time for the floor and the roof. With this, it's kind of easier. You don't have to shape it if you don't want to. You can just set it into the back layer right here. And would you look at that, we have a floor. Now when it comes to making the ceiling, you can basically do the same thing with what you do with the floor. Just take this rectangular block and line it up, and then press the back button. And look at that, that's pretty cool. Now we have a pretty square office right here. Let's name this office, and now we can get into the actual code. Now, you guys know in the official games that you can move the office around just by moving your mouse and whatnot, and kind of just having it pan from left and right, you know? Well, that's what we're going to get to right here. So we're going to grab a night script here, show, make sure that the office switches to its first costume if you have more than one costume, make sure that the office goes to at the very center, and make sure that the office also goes to the back layer, because there are going to be things that are going to be in front of it as well. So we'll grab that, back layer, cool. And now we're going to get into the interesting part right here. So grab a forever script, Put it right there. Now we're going to go to the motion section, and we're going to grab this block set x2 and put it in the forever loop. And now we're going to go down to the operator section and grab this block right here, and it's going to have a slash down the middle. Do not select any of these up here, but grab the one that has a slash. Now we're going to put it inside the set x2 0, like this. Now we're going to go to the sensing section and grab this mouse X block and put it inside the very first white circle of the operator. And now we're going to put the number in here, -1.1. And now we're going to come down to the variable section and create a brand new variable. It's going to be called Office X. We're going to name it Office X. And now we're going to put this in the forever loop under the set x2. Now we're going to go to the motion section and we're going to grab this little block right here, the X position. And we're going to put it inside this circle right here. Now this should get our office moving. Let's check it out if it did. Let's take apart this script and click on it. Ah, would you look at that? Looks like our office is now moving. And this is good. This is what we want right here. Of course, the office seems a little small, so of course, if you need to, you can make it bigger as well, so then something like this doesn't happen as well. And there we go, all fixed. Now we're going to put this back under the script, and now we're also going to try to make sure that the office will spawn when the night starts. Don't forget as well to give these scripts to the office as well. Great, now that we have the flag click script as well as the green flag script, let's go ahead and try this. And just like that, that's how you do it. But of course you can't have a boring office, so feel free to decorate it if you want to. Awesome, so I just came up with a couple of decorations. We just have a poster of this really goofy looking cat. We got a camera monitor right here, a desk, and just a little overhead light as well. So this isn't very creative of me, but of course this is just a kind of a short tutorial. It's not going to be anything special. But remember, you guys can decorate your office as much as you want. You don't have to worry about being limited because there are many ideas out there. And really, it's just a whole lot of fun to create your own kind of office. Not only that, but if we come here, we can also do some color blending too to kind of make it look interesting. So let's do this, and then set that to black. So look at that now. So you got some color right here, and that looks pretty cool because then it kind of looks like that it's the light from this overhead light, and it's kind of shining onto this wall. You know, since this portion of the wall is further away from this light, it's going to be darker and whatnot. It's completely up to you guys how you want to decorate this office, but definitely take advantage of your creative ability, because it's definitely going to come in useful towards the end. Because look at this now, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure the lighting looks pretty good here and whatnot. And let's probably do this too with the light as well. Set that right there, also right there, and then awesome. So this looks pretty good now, and I say that this office is ready for using. So of course, when it comes to the office and whatnot, you know, you have a pretty good setup here, but we're forgetting one important and crucial thing. Well, the doors on the side, obviously. How the heck are you going to defend yourself when there's no doors? Well, I mean, of course, this office is already boxed in and whatnot, but that's not the point. The point is that we need some doors to get ourselves started. Now, right here, I've created a couple of door sprites right here, and just designed them to be kind of like this and whatnot. And with these doors, it's going to be interesting because you have the opening right here, and then we're going to have a couple of gray sprites like this. So how we would do this is by going to a costume like this. So basically just have this beginning part right here, and then duplicate it, and then create another one right here, and then lay it on top. Just like that. Try and get it to match the best that you can. Not the best at that. There we go. So now we have these two layers and whatnot, and they're right there. So what is going to happen now is that with each costume that you create, you're going to want to make the door go up like this with each costume. So then with each costume, every time the door lifts up, it looks like it actually is lifting up and whatnot. Of course, until you get it here, and then it just hides completely. So that is something that you want to do, kind of like in this stop motion sense right here with every costume. And every time you move this second layer, make sure that you create a new costume for every layer that you are moving, like this. And then eventually you're going to have all of these costumes right here along the side. So costume 2, costume 3, and as you can see right here, it gradually goes down more and more and more. And this will finally keep continuing until the door is completely closed. And of course you need the door light as well, because we are going to get the door lights as well. So basically just duplicate costume 1 as well, and then you can set it to a lighter color as well. I'm using the color shading thing right here. So if you want to do that as well, you just pick black, and then you could pick any color that you want. But I'm just going with the one that I had set up like right here. So hopefully you got all the knowledge down on how to create a little door animation as well. Just remember that every time you move the panel, create a new costume for that as well. And to save you some time with creating a whole another costume, what you could do is right here, you can just right click and then duplicate for anyone who didn't know that. And then when you do that duplicating feature, you can move the door down just a little bit now, and then boom, look at that. You made some progress on your door as well. Let's get rid of that now. So once you are done making all of the door costumes, it's time to get to the actual door code. So now you're going to want to have this code: when I receive night start. Then have the door switch to its very first costume, so then it's open when the night starts. Then we're going to have the door show, and we're going to set its size to 130% and have it forever go to the front layer so it's not hiding behind the office. Boom! Just like that. And of course this is a problem too, where the door is not going to hide itself or it's not moving along with the office. Don't worry, we're going to get to that very, very soon. But just make sure that your door is positioned well in the office too. Mine isn't positioned all that well. So, okay, that's a little bit better. Maybe we can make its size bigger as well. Let's try that. Let's try 200 and see how big we can get it. Okay, nice. We could get it to 200, but it's kind of gone now. So let's have the door go to, yeah, right there. That works. Ooh, that is a big door. But hey, this is kind of what we want anyways. So we're going to have that. And it's going to be, let's say the door is going to be right about there, because then this will make room for the buttons that we will be working on next episode. So now that we have the door where we want it to, let's also make sure that it goes to the position that we want it to. That was my mistake, and I will try and fix that. So make sure that when you move it around and whatnot, you look at what coordinates: 455, -27. Okay, let's make sure that we do that, and then we'll click on the script one time to confirm that. Yep, we're good. So now we put that there. Now, in terms of making the door move along with the office, all we gotta do is take this code and then drag it right into the left door script. And then since a forever loop is already here, we can basically just take this and then put it right in there. Now look at that, it's following with the office. Now that kind of may look weird as well, but even if you do have this problem, don't worry about it. You can also fix that within the costumes as well. And make sure that you also take this script out of the forever loop too, as the office should be the only one controlling Office X. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had to just go into the costumes and fix the position with the doors as well. But now that we got that, let's finally work with the rest of the script, and let's have the door play a little animation. So to check if your door is doing well or not, we're gonna go into this right here, and we're gonna find next costume and then put it in a repeat 10 next costume block right here. This is gonna look good. And make sure you got a switch costume to block, and then have it switch to the very first costume. And then now, since it's already switched to the first costume, we can kind of just forget about the first costume and go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 14 costumes that we need to switch through, but we're gonna put 13 in here. Great, now let's see if this works. Great, that worked. Now we're going to take this out, put a switch costume in here, take this little costume number thing right here, go to the operator, put this operator inside of the switch costume block, and it's going to have a little minus right there, so remember that as well. Put the costume number inside this very first white circle, and then put 1 in here. So what this script is going to do is now have our sprite reverse its costumes. almost forgot, we should have it switch to the very last costume that we need. Costume 14. Oh, kind of did a little too much right there. Let's do costume 12 here. Look at that. That is our own animation now. Look at that. Of course, this doesn't look very good at all. I'm definitely expecting you guys to have a much better animation. As this is just kind of rushed and whatnot, this isn't very good. But right now, this is looking really good. And if you guys are able to get this down, then great job. This is a really big step into creating doors. One thing too before we finish up with the sprite is to not forget our trusty friends right here. But now that we have this all covered up, we should also create a right door, because it wouldn't be right to have only one door. So you're going to want to create another sprite, have your trusty friends of course, and then make sure that it's just like your left one, but you also flip it too, so that now it looks like it's on the right side. And to save us some time, we're just going to grab this script and bring it over here to the right door script. And now we're going to click on this and let's see where our door turned up. Okay, our door, it looks pretty good actually, just like our left one, but it's still kind of right there on the side, and that's kind of where we don't want it to be. So unless if you don't have this problem, you don't have to worry about this, but I'm just going to be right back and fix the costumes. Great, now that I have the door fixed, this shouldn't be too hard either. But as you can kind of see here on the sides, the doors aren't actually really going away. But don't worry, we know how to fix this as well. So let's go to the left door one. And we're just going to move that script, and then let's grab an if then else. Next, we're going to want to grab this Office X little guy right here, and then we're going to have this operator set it to 6 right here, and then we're going to grab a show and hide block and put hide in the else section and show in the top section, and we're going to put it right here. So now we have our door, and as you can see, when we move away from our door and whatnot, it's actually hiding. It's no longer gliding with us on our screen, and this is definitely going to be useful too, because then it's going to look like that you're looking right, and now the door is outside of your point of view, or field of view more so, and so you can't see it anymore. Pretty easy. We're going to grab this script and then give it to the right door. Now let's try and switch this around. Instead of the right arrow, we're going to grab the left arrow. And we're going to do that. Put it inside the if then and figure out when this guy moves. Okay, so it's basically just like this one. It's going to be -6. Same number, but it has to be turned into a negative, remember. And let's put this in here. Look at that. Both the left and right doors hide. This is really, really good now. I say that this office is looking amazing. Let's go hide our variable. And then let's look at our game right here. So look at that now. Good, good intro. And then now we're going to click continue. Good. That looked really, really smooth. Nice. Night 1. Okay, this is looking really good. And awesome. Here is our office along with our doors. And of course, this doesn't look good either. Of course, this right door is lower down than the left one. Just remember not to make that mistake too. Make sure that they are aligned correctly. Mine aren't, but of course, this is just going to be kind of a rush game, so it doesn't matter. But right now, these doors are looking really, really amazing, and they are looking good. Of course, we have our own animations for them as well. Now let's test out if our right door also has a good animation. And it does, but again, that was kind of my mistake for having too many numbers, so let's go 12 and 11. There you go, just like that. Looks good now. Just like the left door. Awesome. Now let's reattach that, and then good. Right door is working once again. Now, of course, these are optional. You can keep them if you want to, but I'm just going to get rid of them. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial here. We got the continue button, and we also worked with an office as well as creating doors and having different costumes as well. So, of course, in the next episode, what we're going to get to is door buttons, so then we can use the light and then we can shut the doors as well for both of these doors. And we might get to some camera screens. We'll have to see about that as well. But definitely more coming to next tutorial. I really hope that this tutorial helped, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll try my best to get these videos out as much as possible, and I apologize. I said in my last video that I would get this video out a lot sooner than I actually did right now, which is what I definitely apologize for. I'll try to make sure that I can get these out when I can. It's just I've been pretty busy with all this stuff, and I'm expecting a new cat as well, so maybe I'll share pictures with you guys if I'll do that and whatnot. But anyways, that's it for now. I'll try and upload more of these tutorials as I can. If I don't upload tomorrow, it might be in like the next 2 to 3 days as well. But I will try to make sure to get these tutorials out because I know that you guys are very excited to create your own Scratch games. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that these helped. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.